Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay. Let's begin. Thank you, dear devotees. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see your screen. Yes. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Oh, okay. First, let's welcome all of you saying 3 times Haribol. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Today, we are going to start a new section of the learning of the Shastra, the proper way of doing things. Many times, many devotees ask these questions, what is holy name, who is sadhu, what is offences, or we can chant the holy name. And it's always acharyas, we should follow the footsteps of acharyas. We should follow the footsteps of devotees. And that makes, better progress, significant differences in our whole aspect of our life, spiritual life. Not only spiritual life, but material life as well. So it's very important that we study systematically the contents of the Shastra, the contents of the spiritual etiquette, the details of how we can progress in this path of bhakti. That's the purpose of this human life. So we will begin without further delay. And today we are going to see the introduction of the 10 holy name, against 10 offenses against the holy name, as well as the first offenses against the holy name. So let me just share. So everybody can repeat after me if you can unmute. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Please unmute yourself. You can repeat. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya. Bhagavadi Uttama Sloge Bhaktir Bhavadi Naishtigim. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Salagaya Chakshurmudamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's begin by the blessings of Sri Guru, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranitai, Sri Haridas Thakur. Because we are going to take the topic of the holy name and the offenses against the holy name from the mouth of, from the words of Sri Haridas Thakur. Srila Haridas Thakur is considered as the Nama Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered and declared very profoundly that Srila Haridas Thakur is Namacharya. So any words on the holy name, any words on chanting the holy name is the ultimate declaration of the verdict of chanting of the holy name and the offenses against the holy name. So in that context, one day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking the bath in the Nilachal, in the ocean, the Lord met Haridas Thakura at Siddhabagula, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu feeling great bliss, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked sincerely to Haridas Thakur, Haridas Thakur, how can the jivas be easily be delivered? So it's very important, dear devotees. That's why I put this in the slides. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked like this: Egadina Bhagavan Samudre Kariya Snana Sri Siddha Bagule Haridase Mili Anadhina Mane Jijnasi Ayatane Kise Jivatare Ananyase. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sri Haridas Thakur, how can the jivas be easily delivered? Then your names are unlimited. Your many qualities are boundless. Your form is an ocean of bliss. Your pastimes are endless. Please show your mercy and allow this rest to relish them. So Haridas Thakur replied. Haridas Thakur was very, very humble and always seek the blessings. And Sri Haridas Thakur see the Supreme Lord himself, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is standing before me and taking the shelter and seeking the blessings. And Sri Haridas Thakur is saying that I don't have any Shakti, I don't have any knowledge. But you command, you order, then how can I cannot obey that order? So Haridas Thakur was replying like this: Tumara Ananda Nama, Tava Nama. Yeah. Tavanda Gunagrama, Tava Rupa Sugera Sagara, Ananda Tumara Leela, Kripagari Prakashila, Tai Aswadhye Param Pe Pamara. Haridas Thakur say, your names are unlimited. Your many qualities are boundless. Your form is an ocean of bliss. Your pastimes are endless. Please show your mercy and allow this to rest to relish them. So Haridas Thakur says, by your mercy only, the spiritual name, form, qualities, and pastimes have arisen within the world of matter. The devotees, so it's very important why it is mentioned, because it's very important that we need to have the mercy. Only by the mercy of the Lord, Guru, and Gauranga, the devotees, one can attain the holy name. One can attain the mercy of the Supreme Lord. One can chant the holy name. One can engage into the loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Unless and until we have this kripa, one cannot come near to it. So many times Shastras explain that if one who is able to chant and worship the Supreme Lord, it is their good pious credit, pious deeds, thousands of lifetimes in the past, they were worshipping the Supreme in similar way. And they gradually progressed and came to this, position, came to this stage that they can engage in the loving devotional service of the Lord. It says that, please allow jivas like myself to relish them. Haridas Thakur was very humbly, with such a humility, is mentioning to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The material body and the senses of the jiva cannot perceive Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes, which are completely Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. This is the transcendental nature. This is not material. Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes. These are not material, subject or material object. This is pure transcendental. One who can come in contact with such holy name, such pastime, such remembrance of the Lord. That means that we are the one, the impure is coming in contact with the pure. So naturally, like when anything that which touches stone touched to an iron, then that immediately become the gold. So like that, Krishna's holy name is Nama Chindamani. Chindamani means touchstone. The touchstone touches anything that immediately become the very valuable and is to become gold. So like that, Krishna's name, everything is very pure, transcendental, spiritual. We are material here, our consciousness, everything, but only way that we can spiritualize by this holy name. So these transcendental realities appear in the material world to award auspiciousness to the jivas. So dear devotees, this descended, right? Kalikala Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Kalikala, in this age of Kali, Krishna is descended in the form of the holy name in order to deliverance. This is what is the question Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked to Sri Haridas Thakur. In this age of Kali, how it is the deliverance for the conditioned souls? So Krishna, the Lord himself appeared. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, manifested for this reason. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested to establish, to deliver this, this conditioned soul, the fallen conditioned soul in this material world. And by the mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showering, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking each and every living entity in this world, how they can attain the supreme, how they can get the deliverance from these clutches of this Maya, clutches of this material condition. So then further, Haridas Thakur say, those jivas who turn towards Krishna to attain such pleasure remain liberated and become Krishna's companions. Haridas Thakur say, Se sukha hedu yara, Krishna rabarila, Krishna parishada mukta rupeda rahida. Those who continue to think of their own selfish happiness will wish to remain at the side of Maya. This is the truth. This is a transcendental truth. Yara puna nija sukha kariya bhavana, parshvastida maya pradi karila kamana. Those who continue to think their own selfish happiness will wish to remain at the side of Maya. Haridas Thakur was replying like this. Sei sabha nitya Krishna behir mukha haila, Devi dhama maya kruda sharira paila. All of them eternally turn their faces away from Krishna and enter into Devi Dham, where they attain bodies created by Maya. It says that even in the Brahma Samhita, it says that Goloka eva nivasadya kilatma bhuto. And Devi Dham, this material world is known as Devi Dham because of the material world is ruled by the Durga Devi or the Lord's external potency or Maya Shakti. That's why this material world is known as Devi Dham. Above the Devi Dham, there is Maheshada. That's why the Mahesh and the Devi is actually more closely connected, Maheshadam and Devi Dham. Then it comes to the Vaikuntha Dham, right? Then it comes to the spiritual world. So in one sense, the Maheshadam, and that's the Mahesha is actually one who is in contact with this Devi Dham. That's why Shiva and Parvati, Uma and Maheshwara, likes that. So that always that comes because of this transcendental truth that they're ruled by this Maya Shakti in this material world. That's the external potency of the Lord. Though Haridas Thakur says like this, Punya Papa Karma Chakre Padiya Ekana Stula Linga Dehe Sada Karena Brahmana Karena Brahmana. Then they fall upon the wheel of Punya and Papa. They constantly roam while residing in gross and subtle bodies. The devotees, this is a transcendental truth. And like this, Haridas Thakur say, Kabu Surge Ude Kabu Niraya Padiya Chaurasi Lakhayoni Bhoge Brahmaniya Brahmiya. Sometimes they rise to Surga and sometimes they fall into hellish conditions. They constantly roam through 8,400,000 wombs. Kabuyadi sadhu sange janide se pare, ami jiva Krishna dasayaya maya pare. If by the association of sadhus, one understands, I am a jiva who is Krishna's servant, then one can cross beyond Maya. Se virala bhala matra sugrdi janita, tuchya karma kande nahi karile vihida. That rare result is only achieved due to sugrdi. The trivial activities prescribed in the karma kanda cannot bestow it. So sugrdi, which is mentioned here, the devotees, that by the mercy of the devotees, one get little bit of sukriti. Sukriti means sukriti. Su means, the pious, the punya, sukriti, su, and auspicious. Somehow or other, this fallen conditioned soul get an opportunity to come in contact with this devotee or, other lord's paraphernalia. Then he gets that sukriti, and then from there he begins his journey. So it's very, very important. I mean, it's the reason it is mentioned because of how important a person is to come to Krishna consciousness and how great his stages are. And he's not an ordinary soul, one who is there in Krishna consciousness, one who comes to that position. So Haridas Thakur says continuously, Sadhavan haye Krishna bhakta sangha kare, name ruchi chivedaya bhakti padadhare. One who has Shraddha and associates with Krishna's devotees achieves a taste for the holy name, becomes compassionate to other jivas, and walks on the path of bhakti. So how profound it is. Haridas Thakur was revealing his heart to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the order, instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Haridas Thakur says that, oh Lord, I am not speaking, it's you are speaking. So it says that one who has Shraddha, Shraddha means faith, the devotees in the path of devotion, one should have ultimate faith, ultimate Shraddha on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. With Krishna's devotees, association with the Krishna's devotees, that's the only way we can purify ourselves and progress in the path of and attain that Krishna Prema and achieves a taste for the holy name and become compassionate to other jivas. So it's very important. This is the Vaishnava qualities. And walks on the path of bhakti, and they only can sustain in the clutches of this Maya, as Krishna says to Arjuna, Devi Yasha Gunamayi, Mamamaya Duradhaya, Mameve Prabhadyande Maya Mevam Tarantide. The force, the current, the strength, the power of this external energy is so, beyond our imagination. Nobody can sustain in front of the potency of this Maya. Nobody can. But one who taken the shelter of the holy name, taken the shelter of the Supreme Lord, Mameve Prabhadyande, Maya Mevam Tarandide, one who can and who taken the shelter, the lotus feet of Krishna can only overcome this or goes beyond this, the potency of this material energy or external energy of the Lord. This goes like that. And then Haridas Thakur says, Yuga Dharma Pracharile Nama Sankirtana Mukhya Pade Jiva Paya Krishna Premadhana. You thought Nama Sankirtana as the Yuga Dharma. By following this direct path, the jivas can achieve the great wealth of Krishna Prema. The devotees, this is the reason, primary reason for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent in this material world to establish this Yuga Dharma. What is the Yuga Dharma? Chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haridas Thakur further says, Namera Smaranena Ara Nama Sankirtana, Ei Matra Dharma Jiva Karive Palana. Only the dharma of remembering the holy name and the Nama Sankirtana can save the jivas. Nothing else, no other process, dear devotees, in this age of Kali can save us. Harinama eva kevalam. Kalau nasteva gadaranyada. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So Haridas Thakur continuing this the fame. The Lord said, then Lord replied, where is there another devotee like you? You know all spiritual truths and you are always beyond the influence of Maya. So this is the verdict. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always has the highest esteem, considerably, very high consideration of Sri Haridas Thakur because of on every day, 22 hours, Sri Haridas Thakur chants the holy name. 192 rounds is not that what we chant. Completely absorbed in the holy name. completely absorbed in the pastimes of the Lord and completely absorbed in the nectar of the holy name. And Haridas Thakur even doesn't want to even stop the chanting, and 24 hours, even though 2 hours, but continuously chanting from his mind and from his heart, always in association with Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Eka nama yare mukhe Vaishnava sehaya tare grini yada kari manibe nischaya. If the holy name comes from someone's mouth even once, he is a Vaishnava. Indeed, a householder should endeavor to respect him. So we are getting into that, the importance of holy name, who is Sadhu, who is Vaishnava, and what is the Nama Bharat. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says further, if the holy name comes from someone's mouth even once, he is a Vaishnava. Indeed, the householder should endeavor to respect him. Why it's mentioned householder? Householder is usually engaged in all these material activities and in the, in the worldly samsara. Not naturally, this is an ordinary, grihastha, not even come to this platform of bhakti. They also, that's their dharma. Grihastha dharma is to respect the Vaishnava, to take care of the devotees and take care of all the other, ashramas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nirandara yake muke suni Krishna nama, se Vaishnava atara sarva gunadhama. That person from whose mouth one hears the constant chanting of Krishna nama is greater Vaishnava, the abode of good qualities. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further go deeper. So who is the greater Vaishnava? Who is the greatest Vaishnava? A person whose mouth one hears the constant chanting of Krishna Manda, Krishna Nam. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also addressing Sri Haridas Thakur. And he is the Haridas Thakur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the greatest Vaishnava, greatest devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. And he has such all the good qualities, and you are the right authority to say anything about the holy name. That's why we are learning here in such a way that in systematic study. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further says, the highest Vaishnava is, the pure Vaishnava, the topmost Vaishnava is, whom just by seeing him, one feels Krishna Bhakti and Krishna Nam appears in one's mouth. So we know that many times, many people comes to Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada started this organization, the devotees, we can have that example, we can see that how a pure Vaishnava, a pure devotee of the Lord, just by seeing him, Srila Prabhupada. One time, Srila Prabhupada was arrived in the airport, I think it's New York airport. Then one of the servant in the sense that who is actually taking care of luggage, whatever comes from the, from the flight, and he's the one who is taking out all the luggage and going to the, on the belt, putting on the belt. And when Srila Prabhupada got down from the flight, and as soon as he saw this Srila Prabhupada, he was saying that later he became a devotee. And he says that when I saw Srila Prabhupada, it's as if that somebody is coming from the external world. And he was glowing, his face was glowing, and everybody was chanting the holy name. Those times, devotees can go even beyond further the boundary of the security. And they were all, and Srila Prabhupada was shining like anything, and such an aroma. And, so this is such an effulgence, this is where, when as soon as one sees the pure devotees, that the devotion even ignited in their heart. As Srila Prabhupada says that this holy name, the Krishna consciousness is dormant. Krishna consciousness is there in everybody's heart, but it's sleeping, it's the dormant. As soon as it's invoked by the process of seeing a devotee, associate with the devotee, hearing, Shravanam, all this, then that Krishna consciousness, that bhakti is sprouted, that just got invoked. So this is what is happening. Just by seeing a devotee, others can develop this Krishna prema, the bhakti, then he is the greatest of all the Vaishnavas, the devotees. We are so fortunate. Srila Prabhupada is considered as our grandfather. So always mention that even beyond the father, grandfather has a more loving nature towards their grandchildren, his grandchildren, because of Always grandfather has more affection towards the grandchildren. So we are so fortunate we are all become the grandchildren of Srila Prabhupada. And, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealing that like that. The highest Vaishnava, he whom just by seeing him, one feels Krishna Bhakti and Krishna Nama appears on his mouth. Then he started to chant. Think about that. Just Srila Prabhupada went to this Tompkins Square Park, just sat there. That's where this all international, everything is started in this country or all over the world. Srila Prabhupada just went there and sat there under a tree. It's called Krishna tree in the Tompkins Square Park. It's labeled like that. Just sat there and just started to chant the holy name. Just by that, this devotee started to come nearby and hear that. And then, when Srila Prabhupada comes to the park every day, then all this, they again started to come to hear this holy name. That's the potency. That's the potency of the devotee, is a great Vaishnava. So never be, mean that the potency of a Vaishnava, potency, that the Vaishnava has a greater potency. We'll see that how that greater potency comes to, such devotees. So Chaitanya further says, Chaitanya Vigraha Nama Nitya Mukta Tattva Nama Nami Bhinnanaya Nitya Shuddha Sattva. The holy name is the form of pure consciousness. Its nature is that it is always liberated. The name and the named are non-different, and it is always transcendently pure. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ei jada jagade tatra akshara akara rasarupe rasikeda sattva avatara. Although the holy name descended into this mundane world in the form of syllables, it remains pure, and its very form of rasa, which is tasted, rasikas, the devotees who relish the transcendental mellows. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Krishna Rupa Krishna Haide Sravana Abheda Nama Rupa Ega Vastu Nahika Prabheda. Krishna and Krishna's form are identical. His name and form are one substance. They are never different. Sri Nama Smarile Rupa Aise Sangha Sange Rupa Nama Bhinna Naya Nachena Nache Nanarange. One who remembers the holy name, associated with the form, there is no difference between the name and the form. They dance on different stages. The devotees we went through in the Shishashtagam in great details of the holy name. So I'm going further. It says like that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was replying. And Echari Parichaya Mathe Namatan Mam Namat Namatantra Sagalera Adise Pradiri Sabagara. Amongst these four ways, understanding you, your name, form, qualities, and pastime, your name is foremost. This is accepted by everyone. Adhaveva Nama Matra Vaishnavera Dharma Name Prasupida Hayarupa Guna Karma. Your name alone is the dharma of the Vaishnavas. Through the holy name, your form, qualities, and activities are expanded. This is Srila Haridas Thakur was replying to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishnena Samagra Leela Name Vidyamana Nama Se Parama Tattva Tumara Vidhana. The totality of Krishna's pastimes are discovered through the medium of the holy name. Your process to understand the absolute truth is through the holy name. So, dear devotee, it's very important that what is the holy name? Holy name is Krishna himself. Then we come to that point, the offenses against the holy name, because of it is the ultimate of everything. That's why it's so important we understand the facts of this holy name. Then Haridas Thakur says, Sei Nama Vedda Jiva Shraddha Sagakare Shuddha Rupe Leila Vaishnava Bhalitare. A conditioned Jiva may chant the holy name with Shraddha, and upon attaining purity, he is said to be a Vaishnava. See, who is Vaishnava? So Nama again is holy name, the offenses against the holy name. So who is a Vaishnava? It is declared here, a conditioned Jiva. He is conditioned, he is still on this material platform. But he chants the holy name with Shraddha, with faith, full faith. And then by chanting the holy name, he will attain the purity. And he will obtain the purity, and he is said to be a Vaishnava. Then also, Srila Haridas Thakur says further, Nama Bhasaya Rahai se Vaishnava Praya Krishna Kripa Bale Krame Shuddha Bhava Paya. One who chants Nama Bhasa, a resemblance, a fainted, light realization, resemblance of the holy name Nama Bhas, is a Vaishnava Praya, almost a Vaishnava, not a pure Vaishnava. By the power of Krishna's mercy, he eventually achieves Shuddha Bhav, pure transcendental ecstasy and sentiments. So here, one who does this Namabhas, also almost a Vaishnava. He's not a pure Vaishnava. Then it comes to the stage that, Namavara Sadhuninda. So here, Srila Haridas Thakur now mentioning that one who is chanting the holy name, one who prays to a Vaishnava, one who's everybody in this world, all the living entities in this world understand the importance of holy name, and then comes to that never against the holy name and never against the, do anything against the Vaishnavas. So it says that, Sadam Ninna Nama Paramam Abharada Vidanude Yada Kyadhim Yada Kadam Yusande Savignam Vigram. Criticizing devotee is the greatest offense that one can make to the holy name. How can the name tolerate condemnation of those who spread his holies, to spread his glories? So it's very important, dear devotees, we are getting into the real topic of today's, and it was an introduction so far. Then we will see that the offenses against the holy name. So there are 10 offenses against the holy name, which is revealed in the Padma Purana. So the first offenses against the holy name is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. So we'll go in detail. That's our today's topic. The second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Then we come to the eighth. To consider the chanting of the holy name is a ritualistic auspicious activities offered in the Vedas or Karma Kanda, which are mentioned in the Vedas. So it's a ritualistic activities. It's not a Karma Kanda, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, again, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It's also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So Haridas Thakur was mentioning, Nameda Avadhana Kaya Abharada Tahake Purna Kartra Balena Pramada. The author of the Puranas, Vyasa, state that anyone who is inattentive to these offenses is insane. And also, Srila Haridas Thakur was mentioning this in his Haridas Thakur's own words like this. It is mentioned here, Nama Abharada Dashavida Shastrakaya Sei Abharada Mora Bhadahaya Bhaya. In the Shastra, it is said that there are 10 types of offenses to the holy name. I greatly fear these offenses. Srila Haridas Thakur was mentioning. There are 10 offenses: criticizing sadhus, considering the devas to be independent, or considering Krishna name, form, qualities, or pastimes to be different from Krishna himself. 3, disregarding the guru who reveals the Nama Tattva. 4, offending the Shastra that describes the glories of the holy name. 5, creating imaginary meaning for the holy name when the Shastra has already described the holy names and the results of the holy name. 6, performing papa on the strength of the chanting of the holy name. 7, giving instructions on the names to those who lack Shraddha. 8, equating Harinama with mundane auspicious activities. 9, being inattentive when chanting the holy name. 10, remaining addicted to the concept of I and mine and showing no love for the name even after knowing his holy names, Namarup, Nama Purush, his glories. So this is the verdict, and Srila Haridas Thakur was revealing this to and mentioning this to the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was relishing and so much of bliss that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were relishing. So Srila Haridas Thakur was saying that Namera Mahatmya Jane Tabu Nahi Baje Aham Mama Askite Samsare Majhe. Samsare De Majhe, one who knows the glories of the holy name but does not worship him and remains attached to the concept of I and mine, become immersed in the worlds of repeated birth and death. The devotee's only way that one can deliver in this age of Kali to chant the holy name and get the taste of the holy name and take the shelter of the holy name, then one can come out from this repeated birth and death. So this is freely available to everybody. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that even though this Kali Yuga is full of faults, fallen conditioned souls, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, go out and whomever you say and give this holy name. Dare deko, tare deko, tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh. Talk about Krishna, whomever you meet on your way. So this was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to deliver each and every soul in this age. That's why the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this time after Krishna's appearance. So like this, so then now let's go a little deep into what is a sadhu, who is a sadhu. So here, Srila Haridas Thakur was mentioning, who is a sadhu? Who is a sadhu? So please mute, dear devotees, if you don't. So here it is mentioned that who is a sadhu? So Haridas Thakur says, Dayalu, Sahishnu, Sama, Drohashunya Vrada, Satyasara, Vishuddhatma, Parahide Rata, Kame, Akshuvida, Buddhi, Danda Aginchana, Mrudu Shuji, Parimida Bhoji, Shanda Mana, Aniha Dridhama, Stira, Krishnaiga Sharana, Apramata, Sugambhira, Vijida Sadguna, Amani Manada, Daksha, Avanchaga Jani, E Sabha Lakshane, Sadhu Bilijani. Haridas Thakur is saying that. A sadhu is a compassionate, tolerant, impartial, devoid of malice, the very essence of truthfulness, pure-hearted, benevolent to others, unagitated by desires, intelligent, mild-mannered, disinterested in material possessions, polite, clean, regulated in his eating, peaceful at heart, without worldly desires, sense-controlled, exclusively surrendered to Krishna, vigilant, very sober, victorious over the 6 urges, prideless, respectful, expert, non-duplicit, and wise. I declare that I know a sadhu to have all these symptoms. Dear devotees, in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna, Supreme Lord, also reveals these 26 qualities of a devotee. These are the 26 qualities of a devotee, 26 qualities of a sadhu. So it's very, very important. And many times we explain when this is Shastakam that the devotees are compassionate to all the living entities. All the living entities. I remember the story. This was Vishaka Mataji was mentioning that when Vishaka Mataji was associating with Srila Prabhupada was in Mumbai and Srila Prabhupada was traveling and passing through a road. A little child with a mother came to Srila Prabhupada for begging. And usually the charity is, for the right people. It is mentioned that scriptures, charity should be on the right purpose. But as soon as, somebody came and, begged for their alms or asking for something, then he's a compassionate, looking at the nature, looking at the condition of that other living entity. And Srila Prabhupada put, his hands in the pocket whatever is grabbed and all that money offered to that lady with that small child. Then later, Vishaka Mataji asked Srila Prabhupada, mentioned to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, it's mentioned that charity should be on the right people, right? Srila Prabhupada didn't say anything. Srila Prabhupada so great because of we don't understand the quality of a devotee. The quality of a devotee, he's a very compassionate to all the living entities, irrespective of it. We know that we saw this, this Vasudev Datta. Vasudev Datta had a sore on his body and oozing, the worms are oozing in his each sore. So whenever this worm come out, fall down from his body to the floor, Vasudev Datta take and put it back in the sore. We know that when there's a worm in the sore, how much pain it creates. This eating the flesh, right? How much pain it is. Tolerating, and compassionate to other living entities. The Vaishnava never kill any other living entity, even though something comes. Even Srila Prabhupada said one time that, there are, the devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, there are bed bugs. Can we apply some chemicals, some treatment? Srila Prabhupada said that this is because of uncleanness, it's all come. And you should not do that, because of Srila Prabhupada was very compassionate and considerate for all the living entities. So this is the greatest quality of a Vaishnava, and all should have this. And this compassionate nature, tolerant, we already explained about, impartial. Every living entity, one should see that the living entities are the part and parcel of the Supreme. So, like this way, Srila Haridas Thakur explaining about the qualities of a sadhu. We are here discussing the topic of sadhu ninna, right? So initially Haridas Thakur was saying who is sadhu. So Haridas Thakur establishing who is a sadhu. It's very important to understand who is a sadhu. Always there is a question: who is a sadhu? Who is a spiritual master? Who is a yogi? Who is a devotee? Who is a guru? All these questions are out there. So Haridas Thakur says further, कोन भाग्ये साधु संगे नाम रुचि हया कृष्ण नाम गया करे कृष्ण prasad आश्रया. When by good fortune someone attains the company of sadhus and a taste for the holy name, they chant Krishna Nama and take shelter of Krishna's feet. Swarupa Lakshana se haida haila, gaide nama anya guna aila. This is how the Swarup Lakshana appears. By continuous chanting of the holy name, other good qualities comes. And dear devotees, there is two kinds of Lakshana, two kinds of qualities in a devotee, in a sadhu. One is called Swarupa Lakshana. By intrinsic nature, one who has these devotee qualities, intrinsic nature from their childhood itself, they have this very much compassionate, tolerant, and all this. That is called Swarupa Lakshana. And then Tadastha Lakshana, marginal qualities. Tadastha Lakshana, Haridas Thakur says that then one by the association, gradually we can develop all this. And Tadastha, marginal. It is there, but it's not yet manifested. It is there, it's Tada in the banks of it. It's there, but it's not yet manifested. This is called Tadastha. And then by the association of the devotees and by the mercy of the devotees, one can come to that stage of sadhu, a pure devotee. That's what Srila Haridas Thakur explains here. Then it says that Anya guna ganatai tadastha ganana avashya vaishnava dehe habe sangahadana. All the other qualities are counted as tadastha. They will certainly appear in the body of a Vaishnava. So it's not manifested, it's there. It will come, and in due course, when they have association with the pure devotees of the Lord. Varnasrama linga naga pragara vesha dvara sadhutva hayana krishnaiga sharanada sadhura lakshana. One does not become a sadhu by external signs of varnasrama and various kinds of clothing. The symptom of a sadhu is exclusive surrender to Krishna. So dear devotee is very important. So just by dress or a nice tilak, nice ironed cloth, and just have this kind of, this look, it's not that the sadhu or a Vaishnava. So qualities of a Vaishnava we can have that one who is completely surrendered to Krishna, and from these qualities, this his qualities is revealed here, is compassionate, beloved. Where it's all come from? Because of only one who is surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna can see all these qualities. Srila Prabhupada was so compassionate, so tolerant, so knowledgeable, and very much compassionate and tolerant in so many circumstances. We know that when the Juhu temple, Srila Prabhupada was tolerant. If anybody else would have been there, it would have been a big, big problems. But Srila Prabhupada was very tolerantly, taking that everything that which was passing through. Devotees went and gave the initial installment for the Juhu temple property. Then later this owner said that we are not going to give you. And these devotees were so much in distress, so much money, they begged and collected 1 rupee from the road and book distribution. And all the money gave to the first installment for the Juhu temple. Finally, the owner said, we are not, and there became a big case and all. But Srila Prabhupada was very patiently. So it's a quality of a pure Vaishnava and a devotee. So the quality that one who is only surrendered to Krishna has all these good qualities. So that will naturally come out. That is called Swarupa Lakshana. Swarupa Lakshana. Then, which comes to the Haridas Thakur says that Markada Vairagya Chada Loka Dekha Kya Yada Yoga Vishaya Bhunja Anasaktahana. Give up the monkey like renunciation and showing off to the public. Whatever material things are appropriate for now, you should accept them without attachment. So Haridas Thakur saying that there are many, many sadhus. We can see that Markada Vairagis, Mashana Vairagis. There are so many Vairagis, we can say that in this world. Even though externally we see that they have all these symptoms of a devotee, but inside they have so much attachment to these worldly things. They're always hungering for it. They're always eagerly waiting for it. And the moment it comes, and then it's halted. Like we know that a crane, it's look like a sadhu, meditating upon the water. So when somebody sees a crane and he's meditating there in the water, but as soon as a fish comes under the water, he immediately catch it and eat it. So, but everybody looks like a sadhu, but this is Markada Vairagi. This is a pretender, right? So like that, there are so many, sadhus out there, and the name only, or in the externally only, but not really. But one who is surrendered to Krishna, taken the shelter of Krishna, and chanting the holy name of Krishna, they are the sadhus. So it says that a person whose heart is steady, renunciation has not yet appeared, but who externally wears a kaupina, sannyasa clothes, etc., bears the marking of a Markada Vairagi or a monkey renunciation. We explain what is monkey renunciation. So Haridas Thakur further says, deep within yourself, remain focused, but externally you may behave like an ordinary man. Very soon, Sri Krishna will save you. Andera Nishtakara Bahya Loka Vyavahara Achire Sri Krishna Tomaya Karibe Udhara. Deep within yourself, remain focused. Dear devotees, that's what is all we need. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, 2 things, Arjuna, you need to be very much, determined about. It says that, Tasma Sarmesha Kaleshu Mamanusmeri Yutyaja Mai Arpida Mano Buddhir. Oh Arjuna, you take shelter, you offer your mana, your mind and intelligence. Dear devotees, we should have our mind and intelligence surrendered to Krishna. And all this, everything else external, everything else follow that. Like a cow goes in the front, all the other cows follows that, the cow goes in the front. Exactly like that. If you surrender our mind and the intelligence for the service of Krishna, then everything else follow. And Krishna tells to Arjuna that you offer your mind, Mai Arpida Manobuddhir, you dedicate your mind and intelligence to me. So this is the way that one can internally and determine Ulsaha, Nischayas, determination and dedication. Externally, he may say, he may not, like that. He may not look like a yogi, but if he within his heart, whenever there is, then how do we see that? Whenever there is a chanting of the holy name, they chant the holy name. They completely absorbed in the holy name. They don't worry much about what is going on outside. They completely dedicated. They are Krishna conscious. That's why Srila Prabhupada put here Krishna consciousness. Then, that's what is even Haridas Thakur is mentioned here. Deep within, he is remain focused on Krishna. So Haridas Thakur further says, if I see someone who has completely surrendered to Krishna behaving badly, I will still say he is a sadhu. Everyone should serve him. So this is the where we come to that point, who is a sadhu and who should supposed to take consideration of such sadhu, even though externally, he behaves something badly, but internally he is, dedicated and surrendered to Krishna. He is also a sadhu. He is also a devotee. One time this question is asked. Srila Prabhupada said that one example. There was a temple president in New York, that is the beginning period of time. That devotee completely surrendered to Krishna. It was, I forgot the name. Yeah, it was. Then devotee had a bad habit of smoking. Remember that initial period, right? Initial time. But that devotee was a temple president. That devotee was taking care of the deities nicely, completely surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. But this one bad quality of smoking. Srila Prabhupada said, even though the temple president smoked, but he is a sadhu. He is a devotee because he surrendered to Krishna. He's externally maybe seems like, but he's internally, he's a devotee. That is, means that, okay, we can do something externally. No, but he is also to be, but he's not on the pure platform, but he has something there. But he's a sadhu that is to be respected. So, Haridas Thakur says, taking exclusive refuge in Krishna, no one else is the Swarup Lakshana of Bhakti. That's so if one who takes that Krishna is the ultimate aim goal, that is Swarup Lakshana. Whoever has this certainly has Tadastha Lakshanas. That means that the marginal qualities. But if someone takes exclusive shelter of Krishna, the Tadastha Lakshana may only manifest in him partly and do not completely. Thus, it is observed that some misconduct may be there in him, yet he is still a sadhu. This is Srila Haridas Thakur was still mentioning, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, approving all this. So Haridas Thakur further says, Eita Sri Krishna Vakya Gita Bhagavate Ihage Pujibayade Sada Sarvamate. This is the statement of Sri Krishna Bhagavan, Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavata. Therefore, I always endeavor to worship such a devotee constantly. So, dear devotees, it is very much proclaimed here that Supreme Lord himself also declared that who is a sadhu, who is a devotee. So, like this, then now let's really come to the sadhu ninda. So, Haridas Thakur says, Purva Pabera Ganda Vesha Karena Tidi Nama Bharati. One who criticizes sadhu, who has exclusively surrendered to Krishna for his previous papa or remaining traces of such deeds, is an offender to the holy name. It's mentioned that Purva Papa Ganda Tabu Taha Kichudina Namera Prabhave Krama Hanapade Kshina. Traces of previous papa may still remain in him for some days, but the power of the holy name they to be eventually destroyed. When there is a taste for holy name, Namaruchi, is the results of previous papa cannot be remain. A trace of previous papa may remain, but that will also be destroyed after a few days. Very soon, any trace of bad deeds goes away when such a person becomes known as Parama Dharmatma, supremely virtuous person. So this is Srila Haridas Thakur was revealing. So then one should very much avoid and consider who is a sadhu, and one should always, sadhu ninda should be avoided. And as it's mentioned, if one is fixated on a devotee's previous papa before he surrendered to the Lord, the papa which remains but is almost eradicated, then this is considered to be a criticism of Vaishnava and is a great offense. If anybody is talking about against a devotee or a Vaishnava for talking his previous birth or previous bad activities, these are all Vaishnava aparadha. Such a person is an atheist. Says that, Seyeda Prashandi, Vaishnavera Ninda Doshe, Nama Aparadha Machi Pade Krishna Rase. Such a person is an atheist. By criticizing a Vaishnava, he commits an offense to the holy name. Pashandi, such person, Pashandi means one who has poison in his heart. Krishna become angry with him and he falls down. So it's very important, dear devotees. Seyada Pashandi Vaishnavera Ninda Doshe Nama Aparadamaji Pade Krishna Roshe. Such a person is an atheist. By criticizing a Vaishnava, such an atheist who criticize, many times we hear this. Oh, these are sentimentalists. These are going for this one. They ask for money. They go for this one and this one. They are the initial, people who are kind of criticizing the devotees. They are the FBI agents. So many criticism devotees goes through, but they all tolerate. But Krishna never tolerates that. And Krishna becomes angry with such people. And then those people fall down further into this clutches of material world. Krishna iga sharana matra Krishna nama gaya sadhu name parichida Krishnera kripaya. One who takes exclusive shelter of Krishna and chants Krishna becomes known as a sadhu by the mercy of Krishna. So the devotees, one who take the shelter of holy name and constantly chanting the holy name in all respect, he is a sadhu. He should be always respected. It is mentioned that when we see a sadhu from the far behind, one should give the respect of, offers from in his mind. When he comes to near to that sadhu, then you should give the dandavat pranam to that sadhu. And we'll see that, what is the importance of even, say, smallest association of a sadhu. So he'll come to this. He says that, one who says that, Sei baibe amidhina Krishna gasarana Krishna nama yara mukhe sadhu se jana. One who says, I am fallen person who has taken exclusive shelter of Krishna and whose mouth chants Krishna nama, such a person is sadhu. So, Haridas Thakur was also mentioned, who is a sadhu? And one who taken the name, holy name, and says, I am a fallen person, but shelter of Krishna. One who is a devotee is a sadhu, dear devotees. Then never that we should have offenses against such person. A person who considered himself to be lower than a straw, who is taller like a tree, who does not desire honor from others, who gives respect to all, and whose mouth chants Krishna Nam, such a person can give Krishna Riddhi, affection towards Krishna. So, Srila Haridas Thakur says that the person who considers him lower than, we saw that in the Pranada Visunijana Taroriva Saushnana, Amanina Manadena Kirtane Sahadahari, one who chants such a mood, humble mood, dear devotees, always consider him, he is a sadhu, and always respect and give, offers and always pranam to such devotees. And like that, Srila Haridas Thakur was continuing this. And goes like this. So any sadhu, and further Srila Haridas Thakur says, any sadhu from whose mouth I hear the holy name even once, I call him a Vaishnava and offer respect unto him. See, Srila Haridas Thakur. So we should never ever underestimate any person. Even once he chanted the holy name, he should be considered as a sadhu. Hena sadhu mukhe be suni eka nama Vaishnava beliya thare kariba pranama. Should offer the respectful obeisances to such devotees. Never see that, he is that, he is this. Never come to that or criticize. Vaishnava se jagat guru jagadera bandhu Vaishnava sagala jive sada kripa sindhu. A Vaishnava is the guru of the whole world. He is a friend of the world. A Vaishnava is always an ocean of mercy to all jivas. That's why we chant this mantra. Vancha kalpata rupasya kripa sindhubhyevacha padidana pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Why? Because of the kalpataru, Vaishnavas are considered as kalpataru. They can fulfill all the desires of the devotees. They are considered like a kalpataru, kalpavruksha, fulfilling desire trees. And Vancha kalpata rupasya kripa sindhubhyevacha. They are the ocean of mercy. Kripa sindhubhyevacha. Padidanam pavanebhyo. They are always there to deliver the fallen conditioned soul. And Vaishnavebhyo namo nama. We should have always this chanting, this mantra in our heart whenever we see a Vaishnava. We pay the obeisances and we chant this mantra when we see a Vaishnava. Vancha kalpada rupasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Because of Vaishnava is a fulfilling desire trees. He can fulfill all the desires of the fallen conditioned souls. So, Srila Haridas Thakur says, Anyone who blasphemes such a Vaishnava falls down in the hellish condition of birth after birth. Ei hena Vaishnava ninda ei janakare narage padibe se janma janmandare janma janmandare. Not even just one lifetime, janma janmandare. It's very difficult to then come out from this, hellish condition of life. Anyone who blasphemes such a Vaishnava falls down into a hellish condition, birth after birth. So Haridas Thakur says like this very beautifully. He says that Bhakti labhibare ara nahiga upaya, Bhakti labe sarva jiva Vaishnava kripaya. There is no other way to attain bhakti. Every jiva must attain bhakti from the mercy of a Vaishnava, dear devotees. There is no other way to get the bhakti in this world. Only by the mercy of a Vaishnava. That's why the Vaishnava's positions are very important. It is mentioned that in the next verse, how that comes to that a devotee comes to a Vaishnava. Because of, it's also Shastra says that, Chaitanya Charitamrita says that, Brahmanda Brahmide kon bhagyavan jiva, Guru Krishna prasade bhaya bhakti lada beach. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, one who gets the bhakti, he is the most fortunate person in the world. Brahmanda Brahmide kon bhagyavan jiv, Guru Krishna prasade bhaya bhakti lada beach. There is, this devotee, by the mercy of a devotee, that one gets this holy name, is the most fortunate person in the world. So then Haridas Thakur say how this Vaishnava get this potency. Vaishnava dehe detake Sri Krishna da Shakti, Sei deha sparshe anye haya Krishna bhakti. Says that Sri Krishna's potency rests within the body of a Vaishnava. Always remember this. Sri Krishna's potency rests within the body of a Vaishnava. Just by touching his body, others may achieve Krishna Bhakti. Even just by touching, even further says that even sitting nearby such Vaishnavas, one achieves the Bhakti. So Haridas Thakur says like this, this is the tattva, this is the principle, and the science behind this. Hladini, the pleasure-giving potency, we know that, Srimati Radharani, that's the pleasure-giving potency, and Sandhini potency, that is Balara, the knowledge potency. Merge and become the Bhakti Shakti. So what is Bhakti Shakti? Kripa Shakti. Bhakti Shakti becomes then Kripa Shakti. So devotee when has this Bhakti, is a Bhakti Shakti. Everything is the potency of the Lord. That's why the Kripa Shakti or the Bhakti Shakti, one has it. That Shakti is come from Srimati Radharani and that Bhakti come from the Balaram. The Sandhini Shakti and the Hladini Shakti, the mixture of the Sandhini and Hladini is known as Bhakti Shakti. See, what a beautiful statement. That's called the potency of devotion. When one has this, only that he can execute in devotional service. Bhakti is acquired in this way. A Siddha Bhakta, a perfected devotee, that's called Siddha Bhakta by sadhana. That's why he's called Siddha Bhakta, by practice and then make perfect. So he became perfect devotee. Transmit the Bhakti Shakti to a Sadhaka Bhakta. So one who is perfect, then he impart this Sadhaka Shakti to another. That's why when we get the initiation, there's a great difference. When we receive a Diksha from a Guru, there is a greater potency comes to us to chant the holy name, engage in the devotional service. That's why it's recommended, take the shelter of a Guru and, not only a Diksha Guru, but Shiksha Guru, anybody that take that can impart that the Bhakti Shakti to the heart of that, aspiring devotee or Sadhaka Jivas. By specifically engage in the spiritual activities of Bhakti, the Atma eventually becomes situated in the perfection. So that potency start to manifest. When the Atma is free from aversion to Bhakti and is inclined towards it, then a perfected devotee who is full of mercy transmits Bhakti to that Atma. This is a secret. This is the dear devotees. This is the secrets between devotee and the association of the devotee. When we associate with the devotees, one can impart that the Bhakti Shakti to the heart of devotee. So it's the greatest truth that Srila Haridas Thakur is revealing, over to us. So then Srila Haridas Thakur says that the nectar from the lips of a Vaishnava, his food or drink, the water that was washed his feet, and the dust from his feet, these three things are most powerful. See, what are they? Vaishnava adharamrda arapada jala, Vaishnavera padara jatina mahabala. This has great potency. So always remember that these has great potency from a Vaishnava, the words, the mouth, whatever comes, that's why Mahaprasadam. When Mahaprasadam offered to a Vaishnava, then Vaishnava
consumes that offer and honor that, and that then again we get that, we call it as Maha Prasad, because of this is a great potency. Prasad means the mercy of the Lord. So when we receive the mercy of the Lord, that has a bhakti shakti in it. So one who receives it, he gets the bhakti, he attains the shakti, the bhakta shakti. So he can then progress it. So what is that? The lips, whatever the nectar from the lips, amrita, and the water from the wash the feet, and the dust from his feet, and the water and the dust and the nectar, that which is, the remnants of the Mahaprasadam which received from the, devotee. This three has greater potency that can transform. We know that the story of Narada Muni. By the mercy, by the request of Narada Muni, requested to the Bhakti Siddhantas, the devotees, can I have some remnants of that, the prasadam which they ate? So dear devotees, Narada Muni was a son of a maid servant. His mother was going and serving that house, and there Bhakti Vedantas come and stayed there for 4 months. So by the request and just by association, Narada Muni transformed and then requested that the remnants that they ate, that Mahaprasadam, Narada Muni also ate. He got that Bhakti Shakti. We can see that who is the greatest Vaishnava, pure devotee than Narada in this world. Such a Shakti, that's why he can execute. Dear devotees, unless and until we have this Bhakti Shakti, we cannot execute this devotion. For others, we have so many excuses. We are so much addicted to this material world. Only way that we can come out of it when we have this Bhakti Shakti in our heart. So then, Srila Haridas Thakur says, Vaishnava Nikadeyadi Vaise Kadakshana Deha Haidehaya Krishna Shakti Nihasarana. If one sits near a Vaishnava, after some time one will experience Krishna's potency emanating from his body, dear devotees. It's very important that one should always try to eagerly, for the Vaishnava association, because of Vaishnava can impart even that the Bhakti Shakti emanates from the body of a Vaishnava. Sai Shakti Sradhavan Hridaye Pasya Bhakti Udaya Kare Deha Kanapiya. When that potency enters the heart of somebody who has Shraddha, Bhakti arises and their body trembles. Dear devotees, this is what is when people see pure devotees, their tears comes down from their eyes. They trembles, they completely transforms. The tears comes down from eyes. We can see that these are various symptoms of Vaishnava. Just by the association of such Vaishnava, one can develop this bhakti. So as it's mentioned that, see again Haridas Thakur, a person who finds fault with a Vaishnava's birth or with his previous or a momentary fault is guilty of criticizing. Vaishnavera jadiyara purva dosha dhare kadachiga dosha dekhi yehi ninda kare. A person who finds faults with a Vaishnava's birth or with his previous or momentary faults is guilty of criticizing. So this is Vaishnava Abharad. Nama Abharad, Vaishnava Abharad and Nama Abharad goes together. Where do Vaishnava Abharad is also the Abharad against the holy name. So even the birth, he born in that one or lower family, that family, this family, this family, there is always these talks are there. Oh, he's from this family, he's from this family, so he's a great Vaishnava. No, even Shiva said to Mother Parvati, even a Chandala who chant the holy name, I would worship that devotee because of devotee's position is highest, Vaishnava's position are highest than any of this caste, creed, all these kinds of designation. So Haridas Thakur says, considering those faults that have almost disappeared is also offensive. So when he thought that, he had some fault, he is disappearing now, these are all various kinds. So it's very important. Srila Prabhupada says that the Vaishnava position or the engaging in the bhakti is like a walking on a edge of a razor blade. We can easily bleed. So we should be very careful. That's Srila Prabhupada. One who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses. Must guard. Otherwise, it's like a mad elephant. He's considered as Vaishnava Aparad is considered as a mad elephant. Mad elephant means one who enters into a garden. A mad elephant enters into a garden, destroys everything. So like that, Vaishnava Aparad of the holy name, which can destroy all our good qualities. So whatever in the garden, which we so nicely, fruitified, so nicely blossomed, everything can be go with the offenses against the devotee and the holy name. So it says that anyone who criticizes a Vaishnava's birth is false due to occasional carelessness, defects in him that have almost been eradicated, or fault in his character prior to this coming to the path of Sharanagati, is guilty of criticizing a Vaishnava and is an offender of Vaishnavas. Such a person will not attain Namaruchi, a taste for the holy name. One who takes shelter of bhakti with Shraddha becomes a pure Vaishnava. So remember that. A person who takes shelter of the holy name bhakti with a Shraddha, faith. This is called faith. Faith in the holy name, faith in the devotees, faith in the Krishna. This is called faith. So we should have faith in the devotees and holy name and the Supreme Lord. Then one can quickly achieve that, the taste of the holy name, quickly achieve that, situate in that transcendental platform, in the pure platform. And aforementioned 4 types of fault can rarely be noticed in him. There is no possibility of anyone other's fault in him. So pure devotees, that's why he says that, when there's a Kanishta devotee says that, I am the topmost devotee. So everybody else is not like a devotee like me. This is attitude. Madhyama Adhikari is in between. But a pure devotee never thinks that. He thinks that everybody else is a devotee. So he'll be so careful about all this. He always considers he's a lowest of all. Haridas Thakur was like that. Very humility. I said, I am nowhere. I am lowest of lows. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that I am a worm in the stool of the pig. Can you imagine that? I am a worm in the stool of a pig. This is the position pure devotees takes, always careful of being against all this. Never indulge in so many these worldly activities, but focus internally very, very thoroughly. So, Sri Haridas Thakur says, a Vaishnava's mouth always propagates the glories of the holy name. Krishna will not tolerate anyone who criticizes such a Vaishnava. Dear devotees, this is the statement of Krishna. Vaishnavera mukhe nama mahatmya prachara sei Vaishnava dinda Krishna nahi sahe ara. A Vaishnava's mouth always propagates the holy glories of the holy name. Krishna will not tolerate anyone who criticizes a Vaishnava. There are a few more slides. I think it's getting over. So, then how one can, atone if anybody makes some Vaishnava aparadh, how one can atone. If out of foolishness one has offended a sadhu, then with remorse one should catch hold of that sadhu's feet. Weeping, one should say, "O Prabhu, please forgive my offense. Kindly give the mercy of a Vaishnava to this wicked offender." The sadhu, being full of compassion with a tender heart, will then forgive the offense and mercifully embrace him. So, dear devotees, this is the verdict of the Sri Haridas Thakur, and this is from Harinam Chintamani. And it's so beautiful to understand. And this is the secret, this is the science. And then we should all understand what is holy name, what is the offenses against holy name, what is the aparadh against the devotees, Vaishnava aparadh. That's why to blasphemy, the devotees who are dedicated their whole life for propagating the holy name of the Lord is also an aparadh of a holy name. This is the first and the foremost aparadha. So, dear devotees, I'll stop here. Sorry for this extended a little bit more because I wanted to finish this and focus on this. And it's a condensed class and it can take, 3-4 sections that we can go over and over. So thank you so much for being there, and hope that it's a message that we can take home in our heart, the understanding of what is holy name, the potency of the holy name, the importance of the holy name, and who is a sadhu, who is a Vaishnava, and how we can avoid the Vaishnava Ninda, Vaishnava Sadhu Ninda, how we can then also repent and atone if there is anything that we make some mistakes out of foolishness. And this is the way, and if one is thoroughly care about Shraddha with faith, one who consider and carefully, consider all this, then keep that in our heart all the time. When we see a Vaishnava, dealing with Vaishnava is very careful. Always, we should be very careful dealing with the Vaishnava. And then such devotees can quickly achieve that desired success, Krishna Prema. Dear devotees, thank you so much for being there. And Hare Krishna. Sorry for got little over. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. This
all Guru
where did you quote it from? Madhya Lila, Adi Lila, Charitra, Chaitanya Charitra?
This is from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur compiled. This is a conversation. Yes, this is in the Madhya Lila. Conversation between, also in Andhya Lila. This is from different places. This is Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur compiled a book called Harinam Chintamani. I think many of our stores has it, Harinam Chindamani. So this is actually this from the Harinam Chindamani.
Okay.
So will be based on, all these offenses are based on this text, Harinam Chindamani. Okay. Thank you, dear devotees. Any questions? It's a great topic, right? And any questions? Anybody? Any realization? Please go ahead. Nobody has any question? Any realization?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and with Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, it was a wonderful session. Many things has been cleared on Naam Aprad. Like many examples you gave us, we have learned it very much. But one question that is coming in my mind since morning, I would like to ask. It is from Siksha Astakam, the 8th verse we read 2 days back.
Right.
Like my question is the feeling of separation. Prabhuji, I would like to know, is the same as what we feel in material life, something different, or it's completely different, Prabhuji? Like sometimes what happened, we a person to whom we love so much, and being so, sometimes we feel too much separation with anyone. Like
Yep.
we lost him, maybe he has gone to some other planet like that, and we cannot see them. So the separation of that feeling is equal to the separation what we have for the Lord, or something different? I just wanted to know, Prabhuji.
Good question, Madhu. Wonderful question. Yes, yes, very deep thought you have. Very nice. Yes, it's the Shastra says that what we are seeing here in this material world is a reflection of the actual, the reflection, that when there is a light, there is a reflection. Or we can consider like this, a fire which is covered by smoke or covered by the ashes, but the fire is deep within inside. So what we outside see is a little smoke, little reflection of it. So what we are seeing here in this material world is little bit tinge of, right? Everything is here, but it's a little tiny portion of that is the real. It's like we can say, what is material world is just a drop of an ocean. So the separation of the feeling which we experience is little tinge of, little drop of that, the real experience when it comes to that in a very close association of Krishna or something like that. Yes, we have all this, we will feel that all these kinds of different tasas, we will feel that like crying, and so this is also there, but in a greater extent. So what we goes through is a little tinge of it. Then we think that, okay, this is it, that's it. But in a real sense, on the real spiritual platform, when it comes to that, when we attach to Krishna, then that's what is the real bhakti comes. That means when we attach, that's what is real bhava comes, real prema comes. That's what is the 7th and the 8th verse of Shishtashtakam is revealing that, the bhava bhakti and the prema bhakti in such stage, one who feels that yugaidam nimeshana, 7th verse, Chakshucha, Prabhushyaidam, even the yuga, the millenniums, like just the each nimisha is like a yuga. It's very intense feeling, intense separation. Yes, in the material world, when we have something, we are so attached. When we're so attached, then we have that. But what happens, because we are in the material world, we cannot tolerate. That's why people take some extreme steps and things like that. They cannot tolerate, they go out of the control because they cannot sustain. But in the spiritual realm, these feelings of separation, these feelings of union and sambhoga and, vipralamba or samyoga or viyoga, all this, right? Viyoga, separation is there. That's why people have this feeling. So, but it's in a very tiny portion. It is just a reflection of what exactly it is there. That's why pure devotees, when they connect, they cannot even separate from Krishna for a moment. So the devotional platform, the devotional qualities, one who develops these qualities and come to this stage, then he will experience greater bliss, greater taste, greater feeling. Everything is so condensed. So what we are experiencing, yes, it's a little portion of it. So, but we cannot equate that what we experience in the devotional platform. It's a very tiny portion of it. Is that your question? Is that?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, exactly the same question. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Actually, okay, at that moment, Krishna be with us, like the feeling with not. I'm not telling about the pure devotee what they feel about, but yes, sometimes like looking at the picture, it a bhav comes like a small bhav, like
Yeah.
yeah, like a person to whom we used to love. We miss like the similar way we are missing to Radha Krishna like that. So at that moment, Krishna is present in means around us. That's why that feelings comes. Why it comes, Prabhuji? Why this feelings comes, Prabhuji?
Because so we develop that taste, we develop that bhava, we develop that love for Krishna. That's why we come to the stage of when we practice, when we develop this sadhana, then we come to the stage of spontaneous love. So we develop love for Krishna. So like that in this world, we have some love for somebody. Then anything that matters, it affects us, right? We have the feelings for many things. Similarly, same quality. So we have this quality. We develop this love for Krishna. When you have attachment and love for Krishna, then sometimes when we feel him, when we remember him, when we see his beauty, naturally it comes. So this is called spontaneous. This is called raga. This is not come to the bhava, but this is because of our attachment to Krishna. So this is the feeling of love for Krishna. Yes, Krishna is very much reciprocate such love. And this is called devotion. This is called devotees platform. Krishna sees this. So Krishna, that's why Krishna is there to receive services from such devotees lovingly. That's why Krishna's mercy and devotees' mercy we develop and come to that stage of love for Krishna. Then we very much lovingly we serve Krishna. That's what is Krishna wanted. We very much lovingly serve Krishna in everything. We very carefully take care of it. And we say, I have feeling for Krishna. Next day we don't do it. And that is not love. That is just a sentiment. But this is called attachment, means raga, spontaneous love. That's called when there is a devotee who constantly, okay, somebody chants for one day, it doesn't chant. This is all sentiments, right? Then this is initial our impurities. And but because of it's covered by this, like a fire, when there is no proper fire is there, but what comes first? Smoke comes. So similarly, like when there is not proper devotion is not there, something related to it that comes out. Right? The smoke is definitely related to the fire. It's not a fire, but is related to the fire. Similarly, when we enter into it, what happens? All these initially some symptoms comes up, but it's not that the pure stage of that fire. When we have the pure stage of there, we constantly, continuously, spontaneously, we have love for Krishna. But that is not momentarily. Momentarily comes, it's just a little symptom of, or that what is called impure stage of that, that the purity of it.
I got it now. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Very much.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Prabhu is such a way I would explain, and what a nectarian class this is. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, you encourage us to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, very good, Prabhu. Very, very, very sweet, actually. So question is, Prabhu, one point you mentioned that this is the Allah Dini Shakti and
Sandhini Shakti, yeah.
Together, if you add together, then the Bhakti Shakti this is?
Yes, exactly. So that's the thing, right? When a bhakta, a devotee, has such a knowledge about the Supreme, where the knowledge comes from Krishna. That is right. He says that Sarvasya Jagam Hridi Sannivishto Madhagasmurta Jnanam Abhoganancha. This knowledge comes from Krishna. I am the knowledge. And this knowledge comes from Krishna. Where is come from? The Sandhini potency. So Sandhini potency is Balaram. That's why he is known as Adi Guru. And any spiritual master, any devotee who has this knowledge, and that's all come from the Sandhini potency of the Lord. That Sandhini potency. When that knowledge, that Sandhini potency, now we know that the devotional platform is full of bliss, full of blissfulness. Ananda, it's Ananda Ambudhi Vartanam. It's creates us to the ecstasy of that bliss, takes us to that level, highest level of the bliss. So that's why the bhaktas experience is ecstasy. Ashtaswatiya Vikar. When the knowledge comes, with that knowledge, understanding the Supreme Lord and revealing and realizing that the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is Samrit potency, Balaram is Sandhini potency. Then from the Balaram, that knowledge potency comes to us. That's why Krishna, Balaram is known as Balaram. Bala means Shakti, right? Balaram. What is Ram? Ramate the Ram. Ram is one who gives the pleasure, one who is the knowledge pleasure. That's also called as Jnana Shakti, right? That is called Jnana Shakti, knowledge potency. Then the Sladini potency, right? The Rasa, the bliss potency, right? Ananda potency, right? Sachidananda, right? So that's who is Hladini Shakti? Radharani. So this is very important. We need the mercy of Guru and mercy of Srimati Radharani. That's why Hare Krishna Mahamantra we chant. We address to internal potency of Srimati Radharani. Hare, internal potency of Srimati Radharani. Please engage me. Please, engage me in your service. That means we are seeking the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Then by the mercy of devotees, we get this Sandhini Shakti. So by the mercy of Srimati Radharani, Hladini Shakti, then we get the mercy of Guru and devotees and, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Chaitya Guru likes that, and Pada Pradakshina Guru, so many ways. We get this potency, then that mixed together, combines together, then now the person who is a layman in this all process, the bhakti start to sprout. That's called Bhakti Lada Beach. Start to sprout, and now he is realizing and understanding. And he comes to that stage, then what happens? He started to execute devotional service. That's also a Shakti. That's combination of Sandhini Shakti and the Hladini Shakti. Isn't it nice? Isn't it powerful? Right? Isn't it so nice, the mercy of the Lord, right?
Yes, Prabhu. This is new things you already spoke today, Prabhu. This is together become the Bhakti Shakti.
Yes.
It is very yes. So other things, Prabhu, you can see that it is very, very inconceivable that Haridas Thakur is the greatest Vaishnava, but he came from the Muslim family.
Yes.
He came from Muslim family, and due to the Vaishnava, due to the chanting the holy name, he got the all potency.
Yeah.
And he's explaining that thing in front of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked all this, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew who is this Haridas Thakur, right?
Yes. So in ordinary soul, we can think that he's not the educated person. He did not read any Sanskrit anything. But Haridas Thakur, such an elevated Vaishnava, he knows everything.
Everything. Yes, that's what this is. As he says that, Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet na indriya sevon mugohi jikvadu swayam eva spuradiyada. That Krishna would reveal himself to such devotees. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet na indriya. By senses, but by our blunt senses or indriyas, by our mental conclusions, this cannot be understood. Even though he is a greater scholar, this cannot be revealed. That how it's revealed? By the potency of Balaram, Sandhini Shakti. When the Sandhini Shakti comes to us, then it's all will be revealed because of Balaram is the knowledge potency. He is the knowledge of everything. He's the source of all the knowledge, right? So then it's revealed. Swayam eva spuradiyada. Swayam eva spuradiyada. See, everything is matches. Everything, all that scriptures, Shastra, everything comes together. Swayam eva spuradiyada. This comes to that devotee's heart. See, like that, think about Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj didn't have much education, maybe like, very, very, base education, maybe something like that. Tukaram Maharaj was writing Abhangas, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, like 4,000, 5,000 Abhangas. Srila Tukaram Maharaj was writing, and then those days, the Brahmin scholars were very much against Tukaram Maharaj. They said, this is all, Tukaram said, this I was not writing, this is Krishna was writing. Krishna was dictating me to write. And now thousands of, the wonderful scriptures that Tukaram Maharaj wrote, then they had a challenge. And Tukaram Maharaj said, this is all Krishna's mercy. They didn't like it. They said somehow they made a challenge to Tukaram Maharaj. Yes, if this is Krishna's mercy, if Krishna was dictating all this time, then we would do one thing. We would tie all this in a bundle and put it in the river. If it is Krishna's mercy, it will come out. Otherwise, think that this is all your nonsense. And Tukaram Maharaj was very much in despair. Tukaram Maharaj prayed to the Lord, what to do now? It's in a very dilemma, in a challenging situation. So hesitatingly, and this is the treasure, this is the life of Tukaram Maharaj, all his life, he has compiled all this. And then they bundled together and they put a rock, tied to it, and they put it into the river. And there it was actually Chandrabhaga river, it is mentioned that they put it in the river. And it sank down with this one. And everybody say, oh, see, look at Tukaram Maharaj, see this one, he was always, somehow they wanted to punish, they wanted to defeat, they wanted to all these things. Then what happened? Then one day passed to paper. Third day, all these are actually, along with this rock attached to that, it came to the bank, the banks of the river, and it came out, and it was untouched by the water. And everybody now realized the potency of the Lord, potency of Tukaram Maharaj. So this was dear devotee. So when this all Vaishnava aparad who is made these offenses against this Vaishnava, they all destroyed. They were all destroyed. We know that the story of Haridas Thakur and this Gopala Chapala, right? The one who, I explained that story of that Haridas Thakur. He challenged the holy name of such a potency. Haridas Thakur said, even by chanting, one can attain this. This Gopala Chapala said, no, it's not. Sanskrit said that one has to go through different thousands of years of penance to get liberated. And he got angry. And this Gopala Chapala got angry and he said, I will cut your nose if it doesn't true. Haridas Thakur said, this is the verdict of the Shastra. I just repeated it. I'm taking your challenge that, just cut my nose if you feel so. That is not right. And everybody was so upset around, Haridas Thakur. He was the greatest Vaishnava. So then Haridas Thakur left the place, and after third day, this Gopala Chapala contracted with leprosy. And leprosy completely contracted on their body and started to, kind of fall down the parts of the body. And eventually his nose is even fall down. So this is the, it's happened, what is happened with Haridas Thakur. And then, Haridas Thakur heard this. Haridas Thakur prayed to the Lord, oh Lord, I never thought even that. But Lord will not tolerate such devotees. God will not tolerate, anything that offenses against the devotees. Lord will definitely take that as a very serious offense against a devotee. So here, likes that. So yeah, it reveals to such devotees, no matter what. Thank you.
Hari Bol Prabhu, Dhandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful, beautiful class.
Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, my question is, so one of the offense mentioned was inattentive chanting.
Yes.
So it's always we've been told that when we chant, we hear the holy name, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to ask, so what is a real hearing means here, right?
Yeah.
So when we utter the holy name and we want to just hear, but the tendency sometimes is always mind coming into picture. Okay, it might imagine something, even the Rupa, right? The Krishna's form and all, or some pastime, it can try to imagine, right? That means it just not in control anymore, right? It just goes on its own, like a monkey. So, but then that also becomes inattentive chanting, because when we utter, we are not, it's no longer we are hearing. So we are just going with the mind. It could be, good. Yeah, we are thinking about Krishna and all that. But is that recommended, or we try to aspire to, not go with the mind, rather just hear, nothing else. Whether we get a bhava or it doesn't matter. We just hear. That's it. We just feel the presence, but not through mind. Is that the right approach, Prabhuji? Can you clarify?
I mean, it's yeah, sure. Actually, yes, it's a great question. It's a wonderful question that everybody should, everybody is going through that kind of stage. what is really, how is, many comments, many kinds of versions of out there, and what is best for one who practicing this, chanting of the holy name. It's recommended that yes, definitely we should hear, we should focus on the chanting. First of all, that we chant properly, and we should not kind of break the names when we start speedily chanting. Then sometimes but if you hear that holy name, eventually this is the experience, this eventually what happens, and we should try to control our mind in the sense that now we should feel that this is my appointment with the Krishna. This is my personal appointment to Krishna. Krishna is nearby me. I am with Krishna, right? So that attitude, that consciousness we should have, I am with Krishna right now. So when we are with Krishna, we should have such a focus, such a serious, chanting, such a serious consciousness of chanting. It should be, nothing is more important than this. There was a devotee sitting in the flight. So this flight attendant announced that the flight is going to is turbulence and is in the wind, and this anytime this may fall down, this may collapse. So this devotee was sitting there and he was chanting the holy name with such a seriousness. And next devotee said, everybody is now panic and trying to grab whatever. He said, I'm going to die anyway, but why should I fear? And I cannot control that. So let me chant the holy name. So we should have such seriousness, Prabhuji, in our chanting of the holy name. It can, the world can collapse at any moment. We should have that chanting. So that's the first thing, that we should have our endeavor of chanting the holy name so seriously, so sincerely, and so dedicatedly. First thing, so that this is in our mind, that every time when I chant the holy name, so then what happens? Somehow we can control our mind. That means I have this importance of chanting the holy name. So when we chant the holy name, yes, after sometimes it's very difficult to control the mind, right? So we bring back, again, it goes away after 1 round, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, it goes away and goes somewhere else, right? Many, things which comes to our mind. So then it's mentioned that for such devotees, so if you are not able to control the mind proper, some extent, sometimes it's go wild, we don't even know we are chanting because it goes away wherever it is needed. That time we can meditate on the pastimes of Krishna. So this way, Krishna is also there, and then chanting is also there. When Krishna is there, then we develop that attachment for Krishna. Then we would see that, Krishna's beautiful face or Krishna's beautiful pastimes, whatever the time period considers. So if you bring Krishna at that point of time, the meditation, so that we somehow, instead of mind goes to different other things, we can bring Krishna in our mind and then chant again. So that's way, and we get this mercy. First thing. Second thing, every round we chant, we pray to Krishna, we pray to Radharani, we pray to Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That's why every chanting round we chant Hare Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gauri Bhaktavan. Every chanting after that. One round chant, then we pray to the leader. So please, give me the Shakti, give me the mercy. That's why we start with Guru and Gauranga, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Tulasi Maharani, Narasimhadev. Pray to them. Please give me the Shakti. Please give me this Shakti so that I can chant properly. So this should be our mood every day when we chant the holy name. So this is so important to chant the holy name so that we develop that taste. Once we develop the taste, eventually, this is what is exactly all the other yogic process, everything to bring that mind to that one focused. Then they will become a yogi. They become a Kriya yogi. They become a Ashtanga yogi, Hada yogi. All they are doing is just to bring that mind to that one focused attention. That's what is chanting is also. Chanting is mantra meditation, mantra yoga. Mantra meditation, to bring that our chanting of the holy name, we should be one focused on the holy name of Krishna and Rama, and then also meditate upon the Lord. So we should practice this. And also another thing, yes, we have, my Muguru Maharaj says that our daily activities also affects our mind. Daily activities, because we are so much in sensual enjoyment, this one, watching that one, watching this one, so much engaged our mind in so many material things and so many things, what is happening here and there, other things, neighbor. So
then it affects our mind. What happens? The Maya comes very, capture our mind every day. Then what happens? It can easily slip when we chant and all those. So this way, sadhakas should be very careful and focused. One who chants the holy name should be focused on what are our daily activities. That's why, recommended that one should be very much careful about his all day-to-day activities. Only necessary things, if you want to engage and deal with the material world, only necessary things that we should do. Or that, suppose you need to go in the office, there may be some, office party or something. Yes, we go. But we pray to Lord, we be conscious of Krishna that, then just go there. Don't, my kind of, there's always says that give association, but don't take association. They may be doing so many things, but don't take their association, but give association. That always we should have, give association so that we are untouched by it. So we have to be somewhere, even though we do material things, we should be untouched by it. Like what happens in the material world, when we do things, material world devours us. Many things material we do devours us. Like some people are so addicted to watching games, watching cricket, watching that, watching this. Aspirant, a practitioner should avoid all this because of that can devour us. We should not be get into the clutches of these material things. So this is the way we can self, situate ourselves from all these activities, free from ourselves from all these unwanted things, only do necessary things. Yes, we have to go to work and work. We do that, right? That doesn't mean that, the work should devour us and take up all these things. So we should do it, whatever is possible, whatever Krishna gave, Krishna is in the center, and we should have that prayer and conscious in the mind, wherever we go, whatever we do, Krishna is in the center. So this is the way we practice. This is called sadhana. This practice every day. So then when we sit for chanting, then what happens? We get more focused mind. Otherwise, all day long, we are doing this and watching and going there, party, talking these nonsenses, watching the movies, watching that, this, those. What happens to mind? Mind goes away. Maya is, completely take us. Now then, okay, all on a sudden, we come there, okay, let me chant the holy name. No, it's very difficult. So we should practice all this, and then we come to the chanting and we pray, and then we should be, this is the way we should progress in our chanting. So we should have that goal, that the focus, I need to chant properly. So all my other activities should be support for my chanting. So like Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that in the morning, one should beat their mind with the chapel. And in the night, one should beat their mind with the broom, right? What it means that? So as soon as we get up, we should check our mind, what is where it goes, bring back, right? If we need to give some slap, give that. What are you doing? What your mind, what you're doing, thinking about? May focus on Krishna. When we come to the night, what I did and all those things and so many things, unwanted things we do, beat with the broom, slap. Okay, what did you do, mind, you did today? You took me there, and took me there, and you did that, this, those. I have to chant holy name. You don't need to come nearby and help me focus. That's why, all the time, suppose hear something Krishna Katha, whenever there is a possibility, when we travel or goes there, leisure time, hear the Katha or lectures. So always something or other, it's very, very beautiful, Yesterday I was, telling my, things like that. Today we were since morning there, chanting Geet Swarna and Radhayatra. We come to the temple and hear and, all these beautiful, beautiful things. It's feeling so blissful, I was thinking that, oh, wow, it's so nice. So why can't I all day engaging things like that, So that's the way we can feel that this potency. We can feel that the bliss, the potency, like that's how it affects us. So we have to try and careful all our activities. Plus, should be very focused on chanting, and then remember here, and then if the mind goes, bring Krishna in the mind, chant again, and then chant again. And this is the way we can progress in our chanting. And this is sadhana every day, not that it's for 1 day, 2 day job. Every day we should be like that. Then we can situate very attentively, very focused, determined, and have this Krishna's name.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Very nice one. Very nice question.
Okay. I think it's little getting over. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else would like to add? Okay. So I think it's getting.
One little thing I would like to know.
Please.
You explained now that give association, don't take the association.
Yes.
Taking the association, means I'm adopting the thing what they are doing,
Yes.
whatever the parties. And what would be the giving association? Means many people. They don't like to hear those stuffs sometimes, so we get sometimes, okay, we are in those particular places, but a little bit means our thinking process, they don't like it. If we will talk about God or something, anything what we will spiritual thing we will start talking, they don't like it. So
Yeah.
kindly tell us what
What
do
is
we
that?
understand by, yes, Prabhuji, yes.
So yes, giving association means yes, we should go there. That doesn't mean that yes, there are many situations that we should also appropriately, intelligently behave in a certain situation because of it's very important. A devotee must be also diligent and intelligent in sense that to behave according to the time, place, and circumstances. And giving association means that yes, by what we don't need to be pretend, we don't need to be, okay, I'm doing this, I am so big devotee, so I don't touch any, I don't think, no. This, like just for an example, we go for a party, okay, what a Vaishnava can have, maybe there may be water, there may be a juice, right, something like that. Or we don't, it's very straightforward. That means a Vaishnava is a pure Vaishnava. He doesn't eat anything, he always follows regulatory principle, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do anything like that. Yes, we are not touching any of those things. We just go there, be what we are, talk to the people nicely, talk to that, hear them nice, be with them and hear from them, things like that. That's what we give association, but we don't take association. They may say so many things. Okay, fine. You're right. Good, wonderful, very nice. You are so beautiful. This sari is so nice, wonderful. All these things. The little things are there, Fine, beautiful. I'll be with them, be part of them. But don't take anything that what they say about it. Yes, fine, wonderful, nice, wonderful, good. But we have to be what we are always, right? So yes, we go there, but what happens many times, people goes there and they see, okay, oh, this sari is nice, or that is good, oh, they are so beautiful, they are enjoying their life. What a life they have. They have this car, they have that car, they have such a opulences, they're living like this. This is what is when we lose our heart, when we lose our mind, that we try to be, kind of taking them. This is called taking their association. So, but what we are giving our association means be what we are. Nice, wonderful, be with them, be happy with what we have, always content, and not necessarily that we should talk anything about spiritual things. Just by our association. Yes, we are strict on certain things that they should know this is my life, not your life. This is my life. And when I am a devotee, that means I'm always a devotee. Not that I'm a part-time devotee. When I'm a devotee, I'm always a devotee. Then I have certain standards. I have certain, etiquettes. I have certain things to do in my life. That's what is I am. So that's what is we say we give association with that, boundary, with that consciousness, and then don't agitate or don't think that okay, they are drinking, why should I? No. Somebody may come and say, oh, okay, why don't? Sorry, I don't, I don't do this, all these things. Don't say, I'm sorry, please carry on with your things. Let me, I'm not. So they appreciate that. Many people appreciate, many people respect that. I'm working in a company where, almost every year, there are so many things. I just go to them and then everybody now know that. If anything comes to me, they specifically select the things for me, they respect that. So like that, they respect that where we stand, what we stand for the right things, everybody respect that. But when we pretend that, okay, I can be lenient, that's where they kind of doubtful and they start to force us because they feel that now I am little lenient so that they can put their own things on me. Then, but no, we have to be firm, we have to be there, we have to be what we are and stay there and give association such that
they develop. That's why, in this lecture it says that just by the association of Vaishnava, not need to talk much. They also started to develop that Krishna consciousness. That's why Srila Prabhupada give association so that they develop Krishna consciousness just by being there as a Vaishnava. As in the sense, not Tilak Putta, no. It's not, that's external, but internally we have Krishna in our heart. We may be internally chanting even we are with them. Many times that's what I do. I chant internally in my Krishna. I was just remembering Krishna, chanting Krishna. And that's what it is, So then we come to that, okay, giving association means that, we be there what we are, and then, so that way, everybody else has an opportunity, even remember a Lord at once. Yeah, this is a person, okay, he's a vegetarian, he's a devotee of the Lord. Even though directly, but indirectly, they all get benefited just by the association. Srila Prabhupada went to the ballroom, and Srila Prabhupada, it was ballroom means it is everybody is drinking alcohol. In the mid of that, Srila Prabhupada went there. And Srila Prabhupada said, just give the association so that they all develop one way. This is called Sugurdi. Just by being there, they also develop that. They some lifetimes, because of they saw a Vaishnava. They talk to a Vaishnava. They have an association of a Vaishnava. Even though they didn't speak, Vaishnava has such a potency. That potency can impart and eventually transform that. That's why many houses, maybe husband may not devotee, wife may be a devotee, or husband may be a devotee, wife may not be a devotee. But we saw that eventually in their house also that, somehow Punya, they all get it, and Sugurdi, they get it. In their lifetimes, they all become wonderful devotees just by the association it all happens.
But Prabhuji, we are not that strong, no, with our senses. So in that, like we are not firm with our senses. Means we are so contaminated. It may happen that feeling will come. Okay, like any example that. So is it better to avoid such association? Not going to that association,
yes, if possible, if you can avoid, right?
Yeah.
Certain cities we don't need to go. Everybody calls, you don't need to go. If it is something we can avoid, some other reasons, right? Some say I have some other things to do. Not only absolute. That's what is devotee. There's a Vaishnava. Only avoid as much as possible. Asangatya. They say that asangatya. We don't need maximum possible. Try to avoid all this. Only necessary, then should go. Right? It's unavoidable situations. Right? That's all we need to go.
And Prabhuji, about the offenses, it is only for the like we are trying to understand Krishna. So it is for everybody who is non-devotee or not trying to understand Krishna. The offenses are for them also, or it is only for the devotees and who are trying to understand Krishna for them. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, not the offenses, like, not offenses against the material people. They're completely contaminated. No, not that the offenses are. But we should be, devotee is always a devotee, compassionate, tolerant, benevolent, kindness, truthful, all is that there. That's a devotee's nature. But as it says that one who chants the holy name, devoted, they're dedicated their life for Krishna. And all that's what the devotees means. Not that, pseudo devotees, no, they pretend, things like that. But again, devotee is always a devotee. He gives always respect to everyone. Amani namani dena. So yes, but aparad, Vaishnava aparad means, yes, if you're a devotee or a Vaishnava who is chanting the holy name, that is really an aparad. By mistake, something happens. That's, by mistake.
Like a person who is not devotee, okay, and he bullies some person about anything like tilak or kantimala, anything. So that will be aparad.
That is an aparad. That is an aparad.
If he is non-devotee, then also, Prabhuji. If he is not devotee of Krishna, then also.
Anything that related, like, he's kind of criticizing, oh, this tilak is that, That's all aparad. That's all aparad is. Definitely an aparad. Because he's acting like a devotee, right? Even, see, again, everything is a property of Krishna. Even Vaishnava is a property of Krishna. And he's everything like tilak or dhoti or whatever, he's an attire, he's, whatever is a property. That's why anything that which is related to Krishna is called Devaswam. It's a property of the Lord, Devaswam. Even devotee, even if one put tilaga means that is the lotus feet of Krishna. And, anything like that. So anybody criticize, anybody kinds of, that's all making aparad. They are unknowingly making the aparad, and they, all have to, kind of
sees that, there was a story like this.
So how
When,
a person who
yeah.
is non-devotee, Prabhuji, how they will they will get atonement from the aparadh, Prabhuji? Like my family member, I never used to put tilak, but now I started. But somehow they are not liking it, or they are not used to it. So they are like, so they sometimes they used to speak something that I don't like, but I don't say anything. But they
Yeah.
are, if they are making any offenses, so how they will get it, because I don't want anyone who will go through this atonement, Prabhuji. So kindly tell me something that will cut this everything, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I mean, see, there is always a person who is associated with a devotee, even though we are not a pure devotee, but we are also a tiny devotee, right? We are chanting the holy name, hearing kathas, and we are understanding, we have faith in Krishna. We have so many things. So don't underestimate, that's fine. But a person who are associating with a Vaishnava, they all get that benefit. So what you can do, instead of them, you can pray for them, right? That's what Vaishnava does. When only Vaishnavas pardon, then there is not an offense. Like there is an example of the Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni came, and Ambarish Maharaj was about to break the fast. Durvasa Muni didn't like, because of Durvasa Muni was getting late, and breaking the fast time is getting over. So then Durvasa Muni came and furious and started to kill even Ambarish Maharaj. And then that was an offense against Ambarish Maharaj. Just prayed to the Lord. That's the time Lord actually created a demon who came to kill Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni started to run and reach to the Krishna, reach to the Lord. Lord said, I can't do anything. Even the offenses which makes against the devotee, even Krishna said, I cannot even pardon you, because of my devotees have actually been offended. All you need to do is actually go and, request for that devotee to pardon, to, forgive. So Durvasa Muni came, and then Ambarish Maharaj forgive. So the point is here, if we take aparadh, is Krishna may think that, okay, this is an aparadh. But Vaishnava says, oh Lord, please forgive them. Right? That's why Christ said, right? Please forgive all these offenders. So that's why Christ says, okay, he relieved all from the sinful because of he taken that. So Vaishnavas are like that. So he prays to the Lord, please forgive them. Anything which comes like that, then Lord forgives them. So that's not an offense anymore, right? So that doesn't mean that, So this is the way that goes. And devotee prays for others. Devotee desires for will wishes. Good, everything good will happen for others. So that's what it is. So all we need to pray for to the Lord, please forgive them. If there is any offenses comes, we don't take it seriously. And then, there are so many situations like that. Lord, forgive them like that. Even devotees' prayers, Lord, never, deny.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes,
Anything
Prabhuji.
else? Okay. Thank you so much. Then let's conclude. Vancha kalpatarubhasya. Kripa sindhubhyev cha patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo.
Namo.
Vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Srimad Shishashtagam ki jai. Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari.
Thank you, Simhesvara. Thank you.
Very good.
Do you come to temple?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.